Good afternoon, good morning. A short sound test. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to this Wasabi and Atempo webinar session. Delighted to have you with us this afternoon here in France. And my name is Nick Crisp at Marketing Department at Atempo. And I'm delighted to be joined by two speakers on this webinar, which is called Simple and Affordable Cloud Backup with Wasabi and Atempo. So from Atempo, first of all, we have Louis Laszlo, which is Director of Product Management at Atempo. Good afternoon. Hi, Louis. We should have also virtually with us, we have Jean-Michel Carré, who is Alliance Manager at Wasabi. Good afternoon, Jean-Michel.
Good afternoon, Chris, and very warm welcome to all of the people who connected on the call. Hello, Louis.
Hello, Jean-Michel.
So just before we begin, a bit of housekeeping, and I'll let Louis kick off the presentation, which should last around about 35-40 minutes, and there will be a demonstration as well of the integration with Atempo Tina and the Wasabi Cloud at some point. So you will have that demonstration and presentation. If you do have any questions, technical or commercial, you can ask those questions. We recommend you use the question tab, which is in Livestorm, and you can ask your questions there, and we'll try and answer them either written or at the end. We'll try and take 5 to 10 minutes to go over some of your questions. So there are quite a few of you on board today. Thanks again for being here. There's also a short poll that you can partake in towards the end of the session, just to give us some feedback on who you are and what you thought about the session. So without further ado, I'll pass everything back to Louis to kick things off.
Okay, great. Thank you for the introduction. The agenda for this afternoon session, this session today, we will start by a quick presentation of both companies, Atempo and after that Wasabi. A few reminders about the challenges for data and why it's important to have a backup solution with a cloud externalization. After that, we will cover the joint solution we propose Tina and the association of our Tina products with the Wasabi cloud storage. A demo video how to start a backup to Wasabi thanks our Tina solution, and we'll finish to a Q&A session. So please use the chat or the question tab to raise your different question along the session, the presentation, and we will try to answer to each question at the end of this webinar. First one, so I will start to introduce Atempo. So for you, if you don't know already Atempo, we are a French-based company. We exist for more than 25 years now. We are software editor in data protection and data management. So we have different products into our product portfolio and covering data protection and data management matters. More than 2,000 customers all around the world, 200 employees. And as I said, we are a French-based company, but we have different offices based all around the world. France, Italy, Belgium, UK, Germany, USA, China, South Korea, Singapore, with commercial and sales people in these different offices, but also support team and technical support team, including pre-sales in all these offices. So we have presence all around the world to help our customer, to help our partners, to push the solution, to support the solution, and deploy the solutions once something contracted. And we have 5 R&D facilities, all based in France, to develop our products and to push our amazing product to the market. And we have different people and different customers spread in a lot of countries all around the world. A well-known and reward enterprise. During the last years, we have received a lot of awards and recognition from different organizations. So I won't go into details for each one, but it's very interesting and a good recognition of the ecosystem. Atempo is well known, recognized into the ecosystem. Wasabi, please, Jean-Michel.
Thank you, Louis, for this quick introduction to Atempo. I'm pleased to introduce Wasabi. Wasabi is a US company. We are headquartered in Boston, and we are delivering a cloud object storage as a service. Our solution is compatible with the S3 protocol, as Amazon was the first to market such a solution, and similar to Azure and Google. We started to operate in almost 4 years ago, and the company was founded by the Carbonite founders. We are a privately held company, but we are a wealthy company, a well-funded company. We got an additional $25 million recently. And this money will be primarily used to help us to deploy new installation of the Wasabi storage solution. About 120 employees, 24,000 people. We have offices in France and offices in Japan. And we have a lot of channel partners or resellers, but very importantly, we have more than 350 technology partners, which are companies like Atempo. We have a solution which is supporting S3 cloud, and we have a very close partnership to promote the benefit of our joint solution. The Wasabi value proposition is very interesting. The first one, this is about price, and price is always a concern when you have to purchase some storage solution. And since day one, it was a corporate strategy to have the price as low as possible, not too low in order to be profitable, but to have a price which is definitely disruptive compared to the price which is offered by the competitors like Amazon, Azure, or Google. And basically, the Wasabi price is about 80% less of the Amazon price or Azure price. It's 80% less because the price per the capacity, the price per terabyte is less than the competitors. But in addition, we do not support or we do not charge for egress activities. We do not charge for API calls on our solution when the competition does, and they charge all of these egress activities and API calls. We are cheap, but we didn't make any sacrifice for the performances. We took time to design our solution. It took us 2 years as Wasabi and probably a few other years before when the founders were still working with Carbonite to nurture, to develop our storage solution. And we are delivering extremely good performances. We made some benchmark. I will give you an example later against Amazon, and clearly we have better performances than Amazon. We have a lot of our technology partners who are also comparing the performances they get using Wasabi or using one of these competitive solutions. And clearly, every time Wasabi is winning in terms of performances. And the third element of the value proposition is about data protection, which is made of where the data they're hosted. So we are hosted by data centers, which are offering all of the redundancy and availability features. And the design of our solution allows us to claim 11.9's data durability. And also, we are the first to introduce the concept of immutable storage. We have been extremely happy last year in Q4 when IDC released a paper about the cloud storage marketplace. And among the 6 names which are in this paper, they are the one we call the big 3, Amazon, Google, Azure. There are also IBM and Oracle. And there is Wasabi, which is there, which is now a valid contender. And this is clearly a great recognition for the work achieved by Wasabi to promote our solution. I will give you a little bit more details after Louis presents the TINA solution. I will give you some in-depth view of the features I just presented. Louis?
Yep.
Up to you.
So, before beginning talking about our amazing solution and joint solution, a few reminders about challenges regarding our data today. As you are all aware, cybercrime is a very important matter today, and COVID-19 has accelerated this subject. I don't go into details in all numbers, but one important for me, it's the percentage of cybercrime increasing reported since the COVID-19 pandemic began. So if you can see 300% more cybercrime reporting since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. So cybercrime, it's a common subject today. It's something won't disappear in coming years. And the question today to solve for any IT guy, it's not if I will be attacked one day, it's when I will be attacked and how I can prepare my IT system to be ready to restart my activity, my business, depending the different threat I can be exposed and my IT system can be exposed. So cybercrime is very important matter, and today we have to take this in consideration in the backup and restore question, and restart also. So it's something to consider. And one of the points, and it's complementary to the previous one, but volume are exploding, and the explosion of backup has a lot of consequences. The first one, traditional backup solution don't respect anymore the backup windows and the backup timeline window defined by and required by end users. So as you can see, this matrix, more than half of the traditional solution don't respect the backup window, and volume are exploding. So cybercrime explode as many as the volume explodes. So it's very, very important matter to consider with a solution to protect your infrastructure infrastructure today, because traditional solution and traditional backup solution are not anymore relevant to fit these different requirements. And today, the TINA solution. So TINA is a product we have in the Atempo portfolio. TINA is designed to propose backup, restore, but also restart of it's a data protection software solution, software-defined solution. So it offers backup, restore, but also restart features for physical and virtual system, but also for application and data. We can backup VMware, Hyper-V, Oracle, O365, the whole scope of IT assets you can deploy into your own infrastructure. It's a full automatic solution with a very interesting user experience. And during the demo, in the next minutes, you will see it's very simple to deploy and to put in place a strategy, a backup strategy with our solution. And the solution is designed to minimize at maximum the downtime possible in case of major incident. And you will see we have backup and restore features, but we have also restart abilities. For example, for virtual environments, once you have backup VMware environment, instead of doing a traditional restore operation, you can directly restart from your backup like that. You can directly restart your business without waiting for an endless restorative operation. So very, very interesting solution, and very scalable with a lot of experiences. TINA is a product existing for more than 20 years now, 25 years now, with many customers all around the world, with very large customers. It's designed for large environments. So very, very, very interesting solution, and it's solution in continuous evolution. And today you will demonstrate it with the integration of cloud storages into the TINA solution, and with the specific integration with our partner Wasabi. And it was a point we will discover during the demo in a couple of minutes. So very seamless and powerful integration. As I said, we have different agents available to protect the different IT technology you deploy into your architecture. So NAS database, hypervisor, and a lot of other agents. And take in mind and keep in mind, with TINA we have the larger compatibility guide on the market. So very, very, very interesting solution. And we can also cover system like HPX, AS400. So as we can cover very old technology, but also this, the more recent one. And we have this integration today with Wasabi to offer a powerful backup, an efficient backup with a cost acceptable for backup with both solutions. So key solution benefits. So it's a seamless integration, very simple to deploy. We back up everything in open format. So tomorrow, if you decide to replace TINA by something else, you can continue to access to your data and retrieve your data with a classic S3 software, and continue to retrieve and to browse your data back up with TINA directly with a generic S3 solution. We optimize the data lifecycle completely from a direct backup to direct backup, this to cloud, or some use case similar. It's an automatic data protection. Once configured, it's fully automatic, and you have reporting in case of incidents. We optimize the cost reduction. And as demonstrated already by Jean-Michel, and I think you will talk about cost in a few seconds, so I can jump to the last point, air gap. And with TINA, we offer a complete air gap solution today, and we will see ransomware attacks are more and more complex. And in the news, you have probably seen a lot of ransomware now targets backup solution and backup storages. So you have today more and more the need to replicate and to externalize your data to another storage like LTO or cloud. So with this integration of the Wasabi cloud storage, you can achieve this air gap protection to be also to propose a ransomware-free and ransomware-proof backup architecture to your end users or customers.
Thank you, Louis. So if you remember, the three key value propositions from Wasabi were about price, performances, and security and protection. About price, it is extremely simple. Wasabi has one product to sell, and the product we sell is a terabyte of data for 30 days at $5.99. This is the only product we sell. We do not have any additional cost because we do not charge for egress activities. Amazon charge a lot of money for egress activities. We do not charge for API use, API request. The other competitors, they charge for these operations. And we have no complex storage tiering model because we have only one tier or one class of storage, and we are offering the best in terms of performances. So if you take the example of 1 petabyte of storage for 1 year with 20% of egress, which is pretty reasonable when you do backup because you have to do sometimes restore. Whether you go with Amazon, Azure, or Google, it will cost you approximately $500,000 when it will cost you only $73,000 with Wasabi. So it's clear that our price is a lot lower than the competition. If you have smaller capacity, like 100 terabyte, it will cost you $7,300 on Wasabi and about $50,000 with Amazon, Azure, or Google. Performances, our design of our cloud storage solution is our own development. We own the intellectual property of this development. It has been designed for performances. It has been designed for scalability. We can scale up to an exabyte of data in one single Wasabi installation. And the design has a lot of redundancy at every level, whether this is for the storage components, the storage servers, the disk drives, the erasure coding algorithm we use to anticipate disk failures, the head servers, which are accepting the incoming and outgoing requests to the Wasabi storage. And this is helping us to deliver high performances and the 11.9 data durability. When it is about performances, we made a test to compare ourselves with different workloads against Amazon S3. We have some graphics on the chart. And basically, whatever is the workload, we are a little bit better to a lot better than Amazon in terms of performances, whether this is for upload or download operation. This is a Wasabi benchmark, but if you look in the brochures in our website, we have other partners, technology partners, who have been comparing their software with Wasabi and their software with other vendors, and we are always better than the competition. Item number 2 is about data protection, or number 3. You're going, as a customer, to store your data in a public cloud outside of your premises. So this storage solution is to be durable and available. Availability, because you have to go through the internet to access the storage on Wasabi. Our SLA is 99.99%. We have to make sure that your data, they are available, they are existing, their integrity is preserved, and we have this 11.9 data durability, which we claim, and we have several documents on our website which are demonstrating that we can reach 11.9 data durability. When you put data in the cloud, it means you're not necessarily going to access them as frequently as if they were on-prem. So we perform a lot of integrity checks at the upload time, at the download time, and every 90 days if the data has not been accessed during the past 90 days. The other component is about security. My data will be in a public cloud, so they have to be encrypted. When you upload data to Wasabi and you download them, they will be encrypted both at rest on the storage solution, but in transit on the way from between on-prem to cloud or from cloud to on-prem. We also have the concept of immutable buckets. We were the first to introduce this concept in the cloud storage solution. Immutable bucket is a bucket which works like a worm. So all of the data uploaded to such an immutable bucket, and nobody will be able to modify or delete this data for the predefined retention period. Identity and access management. You have to do a little bit of work, not that much, but a little bit of work to connect to the Wasabi console, to create your buckets, and to do a little bit of housekeeping operations. We have a strong system for access management. We support also multi-factor authentication, and no need to say that we strongly recommend our customers to use multi-factor authentication. In terms of compliances, some of these compliances are owned by our hosting companies. For example, we have Wasabi storage in Europe, which were hosted by Equinix, and they are SOC 2 certified, ISO 27001 certified. Wasabi, in addition, is owning some compliances and certifications about HIPAA, FERPA, and CGIS, which are mostly USA certifications. MPAA, which is to protect the intellectual property of video data. And lastly, about GDPR, which is a big concern for European companies and also companies who are owning and storing personal data from European citizens. Where do we have Wasabi storage solutions? We have currently 4 installations in the USA. We have the one in Amsterdam. We started to operate the Amsterdam Wasabi solution about 2 years ago. And without having an installation in Europe, because of the GDPR, it was almost impossible for European customers to use Wasabi. With using the Wasabi Europe data center, the data will be GDPR compliant, and Wasabi doesn't have permission to copy the data from one location to another location. We also have one installation in Japan, which is in partnership with NTT. And in 2021, we are definitely looking at opening an additional location in Europe, which will be in UK, in London, and an additional location in Asia, in Singapore. Our head servers, the one which are handling the incoming and outgoing requests, they are installed with either 10 gigabit Ethernet cards or 100 gigabit Ethernet cards. So there is an extremely huge bandwidth which is available for concurrent access to deliver extremely good performances. For some customers, if they want to have a dedicated connection, a direct connection, both for performances, predictable performances, and also for additional security reasons, you have the possibility to request a direct connect, which is mostly available between Wasabi and the other cloud providers like Amazon, Azure, Google. But any other customers who can get a direct connection to Equinix, for example, in Europe, will be able to have a direct connection to Wasabi. For US customers, there is the possibility to upload data on a small NAS box. We call it a Wasabi ball, and the Wasabi will then upload the data to the Wasabi location. The only benefit Wasabi saw in the COVID situation in 2020 is that there was a big interest for the cloud. A lot of companies, because they have to work remotely, because some of their facilities were impossible to reach and impossible to access a data center, there was a big demand for storage in the cloud. We have been growing pretty fast. We were selling about 4 petabytes of storage every week in 2020, and we grow at the same pace and maybe even faster this year in 2021. And we have approximately 400 to 500 petabytes of storage today, and we will continue to grow. The use cases for Wasabi with Tina were typically in the backup and recovery use case. We have also archiving. Archiving is a little bit separate from backup and recovery because a lot of companies, they have a dedicated archiving solution, which is the case of Atempo, which have also the Myria solution, which works with Wasabi. Myria, like many other solutions dedicated for the media entertainment market, they also work with Wasabi, and all of these activities are consuming a lot of storage. Usually in the media entertainment business, a customer is several hundred terabytes of storage for Wasabi. And we have the growth, the continuous growth of the video surveillance market, which is forcing a lot of users by local regulations or business practices to keep video surveillance data for a month and sometimes more than a month. And it's clear that after a few days, all of these video surveillance data, they are barely retrieved. So it is extremely interesting to make or to move the video surveillance data into the cloud. And our technology partners in this market, they all have an additional layer which makes the retrieval of the data in the cloud totally transparent for the video surveillance users and administrators. And in addition to that, all of the new technologies, big data, data analytics, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, which are creating hundreds of terabytes of data, are definitely interested by putting all of this data in the cloud. And again, no need to say that Wasabi, with the very attractive price, is the best place to store this data. So to summarize, and I will hand it over to Louis, the combination of Atempo and Wasabi is a powerful solution, definitely affordable, which is open. Louis explained that should you want to retrieve your data without the help of Tina, by connecting to the Wasabi bucket, you can retrieve the data. Security is there at every level, at the Tina level, at the Wasabi level. The solution is extremely flexible and definitely scalable, which is by essence what cloud storage is. So Louis, I hand it over to you. You have a very good demo. There will be 1 or 2 seconds on how to create a Wasabi bucket, and the rest is purely Tina, which integrates nicely.
Thanks. So we will start with the demo. I will share my screen. Let me 1 second. Seems to be okay. So I've prepared a data set for this demo. So it's a directory I have on my own server. So up you will see we have different data to protect. So I have created my bucket on my storage account into Wasabi. Sorry for the demo, it's in French. Initially I have to put something in English, but sorry for that, but the behavior is more or less the same thing. So for the French word, but we can continue. The functioning is the same thing in English, and same interface. So I have prepared my dataset. I have created my bucket into the Wasabi storage. So it's something you can start just after the demonstration. You can create a trial account on a Wasabi website, and you will access to a storage account with 1 terabyte of data storable for 1 month. So you can just after the demonstration test by yourself and try by yourself directly from by creating a trial account on the Wasabi website. So it's something I have done for this demonstration. So I have created my trial accounts, and now I will create my new storage into the Tina solution. So I create a new storage. I select cloud storage. As you can see, we can create different kind of storage, type library, disk, and so on. I give a name to my new storage connector. I put the server name. I copy paste the different credential from my notepad. I have skipped the creation of the different credentials from the Wasabi console, but it's quite simple to do. You have a new click button, and once you have clicked, access key and secret key are generated by the console on Wasabi. So as you can see, I have to translate a bit. So the first parameter is a server name. The next one is a access key generated by the Wasabi console, secret key generated by the Wasabi console, and the next one is the bucket name. And here I have put tina.wasabi. And after that, I have to select a few options. So the first one is check integrity with MD5 hashes. So for each file, if I select verify integrity mechanism, after each file uploaded to the Wasabi bucket, I will compare the digest I have generated on Tina with the digest proposed by the Wasabi bucket and validate the correct upload to the Wasabi bucket. So it's an option you can enable to ensure the data integrity during the upload to Wasabi. The second one is bucket creation. If the bucket doesn't exist, instead of going and failing the job in error, you can ask and request Tina to pre-create the bucket on the Wasabi side if the bucket doesn't exist. Next one is versioning. So you can enable the versioning on the bucket side. So instead of Tina managing versioning and uploading multiple files for the same data, you can use the bucket versioning and use the available feature directly from the Wasabi side. And we have different other feature: bucket accelerate, quota management, and so on. So I enable the bucket creation, enable versioning, and I define a retention for this application. So I take up a new retention, so infinite, and it's okay. So I have created my new storage into the cloud. Now I create a new backup agent. So I declare a new application. So I can create different backup agents: O365, TB2, file system, Exchange, and we have a lot of other agents existing on our compatibility guide. So it's quite simple, and as you see, it's very, very simple. So I define a name to my application. So here it's my direct backup to cloud. Login credential and login and password for the server where I will run this agent. And I have forgotten to specify a name of the server where I want to run this agent. And now I will select the path to backup. So remember, I have already prepared a dataset to backup. So here I will copy paste directly the path of the directory I want to protect. But I have two options: row the agent or copy paste directly a path. So I copy paste the path. My selection is okay, and now I will apply a strategy for this backup. So here it's a strategy to backup to cloud storage. So this cloud strategy, I can select to schedule full backup or incremental one. Here I will only select initiate manual backup without any schedule. And now I enable my agent I have created, saved. Sorry for all this French word. Into the replay, we will try to add the English demo, the English version of the demonstration. So for people wanting to review the demo in English, we will add the demo video in English into the replay. So here you have seen during my quick comments, I have started my backup manually, and now directly from the Wasabi console I can see Tina has created the bucket and I've started to upload my data and to start to backup and upload my data to the Wasabi bucket. So as you can see, it's quite simple. We have created a new storage into the Tina console. I have created a new backup agent, a new backup application. I have selected objects to protect, and I have initiated manually my backup, but it's the same behavior. If you decide to schedule your backup operation, it's quite simple to do. So I will jump back to the presentation. A few words about documentation. So right now you can already go onto on the Wasabi website. You have a global partner solution brief summarizing all the different points we have covered today and we have tried to cover today, with the feature we offer, different benefits we offer with our joint solution. Knowledge base to with how to configure Tina with Wasabi. It's more or less the same thing we have covered during this session today. And at the end, it's a more high-level subject to how to succeed a cloud-to-cloud migration project and how to succeed a cloud-to-cloud migration strategy with our both solution. Because at Atempo, it's not especially Tina. We have different products into our portfolio for data protection, but also for data management. And with Wasabi, it's a long time yet. We work together and we have started to work with our Myria product. Myria is a data management solution for large unstructured data, large volume of unstructured data. And with Myria, you can achieve migration, backup, archiving, synchronization for large unstructured data. And this white paper is more dedicated for cloud-to-cloud migration project. And it can help you to achieve a cloud-to-cloud migration project. And if you are convinced today, after this webinar, to change of cloud provider to Wasabi, this white paper will help you to decide how to achieve your migration project to migrate from your existing cloud provider to Wasabi. So let's try our solution. If we have success to convince you today with this presentation, you can right now go onto the Wasabi website and request for a trial account. And you can email me or someone into Atempo to have access to our Tina product with a license key, and we will offer you a license key for 30 days to try our solution. And for Wasabi test account, it's limited to 1 terabyte for 30 days. So you can already try our solution directly, and you will see it very, very simple to deploy, simple to manage, and for achieving a daily basis operation, it's very, very interesting and very simple. Now, I have seen you all raise different questions into the chat in the question tab. We will try to answer for each one during the session.
Okay, thanks Louis, and thanks Jean-Michel for your presentations. And we do have a few questions, and you still have time to ask any other questions you may have following this presentation. And if you do have a second to look at the polls, we'll be very grateful to get some of your feedback on the session, and maybe if you have any projects that Atempo and Wasabi can help, then please do share that with us. One of the first questions, a couple of questions actually on Tina. Some of the people tuning in, not too sure what Tina is in terms of the software model, the pricing model, the licensing model. Can you very briefly give us an overview of Tina?
It's quite simple. I've seen a different question into the chat and question tab about the pricing model. For Wasabi, it's quite simple. It's a price at month for per volume. For Tina, two pricing model. One, a perpetual license, because people continue to request for perpetual license model. So you buy the different agents, you buy the server and the different agent option you need, for example, Oracle, Exchange, and all that stuff, and you pay a maintenance fee, a yearly maintenance fee for based on the software and the different agents you have contracted initially. Second option, the term license. So it's a subscription pricing model, depending with two different modes. The first mode, it's a volume term license model. So you have a volume to protect, and it's a price per volume and per month. Or you have another option. It's more dedicated for vertical market. We have something very disruptive, and we have different pricing model depending on the vertical. For example, we have an hospital TINA pricing model. So it's a price by hospital bed, so something very disruptive in the market. So you have access to all features of the product, and if you count 300 beds into your hospital, you pay a price for 300 beds. So, and we have the same discussion for public organization, for example, city hall. You have a price by inhabitants. You have the same thing for university. You have a price per student. So something quite different from competitors and from the competition, and quite relevant and fitting with the different budget subject you can have in this kind of type of organization. So two different pricing model, one perpetual, you have to select the different agent you need, and you pay a yearly maintenance fee regarding this perimeter, and other price model, volume or vertical one, depending if you are an hospital, a university, a city hall, something like that.
Okay, thanks, Louis. I have a few questions for Jean-Michel on the subject of buckets. So the first question, then I'll try and regroup the other two, is can I create buckets in different regions with the same Wasabi accounts? I guess that's
yeah, that's a very good question. You understood that we have several Wasabi locations, and we are going to continue to increase these Wasabi locations. And clearly, with the same Wasabi account, the customer can decide where they want to create the different buckets. Typically, if there is a GDPR compliance requirement, the only perfect destination is to use the Wasabi Amsterdam data center. But for the other requirement, because of maybe a geographic location, which could be closer to one of the US data centers, or some other data exchange with a customer who might be located in the US, with the same account, a customer can create a bucket in another geography. I've seen the question also, Nick, which is one of the most frequently asked, about the number of buckets which can be created. There is theoretically no limits, however, above 1,000 buckets with a little bit of trick, easy to make, you can extend the number of buckets. So far, I doubt we have a single customer who has been facing with such an issue. The other question, which comes also very frequently, is about the number of objects per bucket, and there is no limitation in terms of number of buckets, of object per bucket.
Okay, that's a lot of buckets and a lot of objects. The other question we had for you, Jean-Michel, was the new locations in 2021, and you mentioned Singapore and London, and I think Sandy, who kindly from Wasabi answered that would be in Q3, Q4.
Yeah, that's the plans. We clearly need to expand our footprint in Europe. London will come first before the other countries, which frequently come to our mind, like France, like Germany. But because of the Brexit, UK will remain a GDPR-friendly country, but there might be some additional UK regulations which will force some customers, UK customers, to store data in the UK, not outside the UK. So that's why for the expansion in Europe, we are looking at opening a location in UK, or London to be precise, probably in Q3. And at the same time, in parallel, we are busy expanding our footprint in Asia, and Singapore is the location which has been chosen.
Okay, thanks very much. Question for Louis, and it's about, a few months ago we had a Wasabi Miria seminar and talked quite a lot about cloud protection, moving data between, storage data between different clouds, and going from on-prem to Wasabi. Now you're talking about, that was with Miria, of course, now you're talking about TINA. And you also mentioned Lina. Can you just go through those three solutions for us, Louis? And
Yeah,
situate them?
so a quick reminder about the difference between these three solutions. So as you have understood, I hope I have succeeded to explain that today. Tina is our product to protect infrastructure, so physical, virtual servers, application, databases, and all that matters. So Tina is our infrastructure data protection solution. Miria is our data management solution to achieving large data movement, to offer archiving, backup, migration, synchronization for large volume of unstructured data. And the last product of our portfolio is Lina. Lina is targeting endpoint data protection, so laptop and desktop. It's a very interesting continuous data protection solution for large number of laptop or desktop to protect. So as you mentioned, we have started our work and our partnership with Wasabi with our Miria solution, and we have started to integrate the capability to push data to Wasabi with Miria. And we continue today with the Tina solution, and we target for the end of this year to cover also Lina and Wasabi. The ability to push data to Wasabi with the Lina solution to offer this capability to the Lina customers to achieve data protection to the cloud with an effective, cost-effective storage as our partner Wasabi.
So if a customer, for example, they want to move their data from Amazon to Wasabi, Atempo could be a good place to look at.
Yeah. With Miria today, for example, a customer achieving data protection to Amazon for a couple of years here now, yet with a competitor to Tina, and I won't mention competitor to Tina. I think you have a lot of in mind already. We can help you to migrate from Wasabi from Amazon to Wasabi with our Miria solution.
Okay. Nick, I have seen a question on the question tab, which is about how easy it is for a client to actively access data in Wasabi. And that the question is asking, do we have to restore the data first before working on the data? I will answer by saying that this depends on the application which the customer is using. First of all, if you put your data in the cloud, it's not to access this data on a very frequent basis, but basically the cloud is primarily targeted to receive backup results, like that will be the case with Tina, or to have a copy of the data which do not deserve to be stored on-prem and to consume capacity on the expensive on-prem storage. After that, and particularly as you talk about editing, if you want to edit a large video file, there are several solutions which allows to retrieve only the relevant portion of the video data. Let's say you have 1 terabyte of video and you have to work on a small sequence which is lasting for just 1 minute and occupying maybe a few gigabytes. Only this gigabyte will be recalled to be modified by the editing software, will be recalled on the local storage. And once the data will be updated, they will restore back to the cloud.
Okay, thanks very much, Jean-Michel. What we can say, of course, is that there are no egress fees for Wasabi, and I think that's one of your top selling points. So if you do need to, you don't have to pay for it, and it's always that hot storage as well. So definitely plus points for you guys. I think we unfortunately lost Louis' explanation a few moments ago. Louis, maybe you just want to answer that question again.
Okay, so about the different products, and I think it's a point you mentioned, and the ability to migrate from, the question was about the ability to migrate from Amazon to Wasabi.
I think that's the part that we lost. Yeah.
Mirai can help customers to achieve this cloud-to-cloud migration from Wasabi, from Amazon to Wasabi, and we can use our Mirai solution to achieve this migration from Amazon to Wasabi.
Okay. Thanks very much, and sorry about that slight downtime there. I think we've just about run out of time and run out of questions. So I'd like to thank everyone, obviously, for joining us today, and I hope this session was useful. If you do need to contact Jean-Michel or Louis, then you have their emails on the screen right now. We'll leave the session open for a few more minutes if you want to take a look at the polls. If you have any more questions, you can ask those, and we'll copy them and make sure you have answers very, very quickly. There will be a recording of the session, and we'll get that to you in no time at all. So thanks, Louis. Thanks, Jean-Michel.
Thank you. Thank you to all the people who attended the call, and thank you for the questions.
Everybody, all the best to you, and speak to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Jean-Michel.
Bye-bye.